What's up? What's up? I'm back. Wanted to talk about multiple versions of self and kind of get into what Kanye was talking about with bipolarism being a superpower. And for me, I've been able to control my emotions a lot better this past year in that sense of pretty much I've been able to flip the switch. And for other people on the outside, it might look crazy. It's like one minute this nigga going to fuck off, and the next minute like, all right, he kind of calm. But it's like, why is he like that? But it's just I'm in more control of my emotions. And if you're in control, I believe it could be a superpower, like Kanye was saying. And I'm gonna get into it more because it's truly becoming holistic. Like, yeah, you're angry, but you're not crying over spoiled milk, and you're moving on, because it's like sitting in that moment really does nothing for you but keeps you more aggressive or more angry. So it's like, yeah, that's valid. Yeah, you have a valid reason to be angry, but what's the next step? So you switch back to being bipolar. You switch back to the other side. But even in that same aspect, bipolarism is only dealing with two aspects of self, and that's probably like the masculine and feminine when you think of it like that. One's the logical, one's the emotional, but it's way deeper than that when you go into true emotions like depression and joy and things like that. And Inside Out really emphasized it greatly in the sense of they had five versions of her, even a nerdy one, joy and anger. And in the sense of like, if you let all of them shine, you let all of them sit at the table, you listen to all of them, that's when you become holistic. And a lot of us run from versions of ourselves. And for me, I don't know how many versions of myself I have, but for the most part, I know I do have like joy. I know I have depression for a fact. Like for the most part, like her mom, her center point was depression, but the daughter center point was joy. And that's like the mask that we carry around the most. And that's probably like the mediator of them all. And it's like, for somebody, you be like, why is your mediator depression? Why are your mediator sadness? It's like, well, why is your mediator joy? And it's like, neither one of us is wrong, neither one of us is right, but this is like, I'm a product of my environment, so this is how I came up. This is what I became to be, and through my sadness, I can find happiness and all those other different things. And just like through your joy, you can find sadness and all those other things. Your search for joy, you can find a lot of depression, anger, and all those other things. So in the same aspect, it's just perspective. And a lot of us, we try to just only be joy, or like Inside Out got glamorous or whatever you call it, like greed, or what's this shit called, bougie, the bougie version of her. And a lot of people only want to be that joyous or that bougie person, and that's not really all you are. And through trying to maintain a public image or a social image and trying to fit in with maybe friends or fit in with family, whatever your case was, like, you only show those versions of yourself when there's many other versions of you. Like, for instance, like, say you're in middle school or high school, you'll like try to hide the nerd version of you, but you like astronomy, or you like dealing with deep shit, but your other friends don't talk about deep shit. So all you're gonna do is show your bougie side or your joyful side or whatever. Or say you with in a gang, you'll only show your angry side. You won't show your optimistic side, or you won't show shit like that. And it's crazy because gang members, they create so many other things. Like even Tukey Williams created children's books, and other niggas creating food, shits like that. And it's just go to show you, like, it's many creative versions of yourself inside of you. And when you become holistic, your creativity become endless. And that word endless is very important, because endless is infinite. That's God. Like, so when you using all yourselves, like, bro, the different things that you create through merging yourselves and using all of your versions of yourselves, bro, is going to be crazy, because you only creating out of joy, or you only creating out of optimism, but you're not using your nerd version of yourself, which would be wisdom. And you're not using anger, which is why you get angry at a lot of things. For a lot of people, we get angry at the world a lot. We get angry at jobs, we get angry at school, but we ignore our angry version of ourselves. I shouldn't even say depression, because we focus on depression a lot, but anger is something we ignore, bro. Like, we get mad and we say we're gonna do this and that and this and that, but we just ignore that shit. Like, I guess we feel like our anger is just irrational or something, or just not real, or I don't know. But our anger is very real, and that's a big part of me saying I've been depressed since a young age, is because the things that I seen, like, I went through a lot of psychological shit, like, as a kid, not really physical trauma, like just dealing with family and not really being close and shit like that. But Those are the things I have to grow up with. But I have a good reason to be angry at it. I'm not gonna, like I said, stay stuck in the moment or stay stuck in that in that, what do you call it? Just stay stuck in that energy. But I definitely can learn from that energy and realize what I don't want to be or what I don't want to take part in. Because usually when you become angry, it's like, all right, if you angry at your parents, it's like, well, I don't want to stay under this household no more. You angry at school, it's like or your job, you like, they asking too much of me, or my boss is just too much, or these teachers are too, like, just something. And it's like, why do you keep doing this? Like, maybe you don't want nobody over you. Maybe you feel like the school ain't necessary. Maybe you feel like you smarter than some people. That's a big reason I love school. I'm like, bro, I feel like I'm smarter than the teachers. And I could have ignored my nerd self and been like everybody else trying to fit in and learn and deal with the system. But I'm like, nah, bro, these people are stunning my growth at the end of the day. And I felt the same way with football. That's what made me start football. I was at Bacone College. Like, I was like, and I'm getting off topic because that's some physical shit, but I was like, bro, I'm not physically getting better here. Like, what am I doing here? I'm on a downhill at 19. Fuck that. Fuck this shit. It's not a life I want to live. In a sense, that that's the only thing I look forward to in football. But let's go to my tweets. I'm still talking about Inside Out, but I was looking at pictures. It looked like her mom got the same people. I don't know if I talked about that, but oh yeah, I said it, like different versions of people, or like the head of console. Like for me, my head of console might be, well, not console, but the head mediator might be depression, or might be the nerd version. But for her child, if y'all watch Inside Out, it was her mediator was joy. And like I said, we could learn from either one of them, but I think that was very important that they put that in there. Not everybody leader wasn't joy, or everybody lead mask wasn't joy, I should say. But let's see, you can suppress versions of yourself. Yeah, and I mean, realizing why certain versions of yourself exist. Why were they created? Why were they manifested inside of you? Like, that's realizing you're a product of your environment. And for me, like I said, and for a lot of people that listen to my shit, like, we're fallen angels, bro. So, or at least a rising angel. So it's like, bro, if you're trying to rise or you realize you fail, you know it's something greater. Honestly. And really, this world is what makes you sick. No bullshit. Physically and mentally. And that's in the Bible. That's why I can't have one funny tweet one day. I talked about that. If you're not scared of different versions of yourself, yeah, you gotta let all versions of yourself thrive. Like, the biggest thing in the beginning of the movie, Joy was trying to stop sadness from making decisions, but sadness was the biggest factor. I talked about that though. Like, you realize how you want different change from people. If somebody make you sad, it's not that you're angry, you might just be more disappointed. So it's like, all right, well, how do I work through this? But then other people choose to tap into the anger and then detach completely, and then didn't learn from they didn't learn from their sadness because they tapped into anger and then, you know, suppressed all the different things. Like, it's many different ways of suppressing versions of yourself. And I guess it's me realizing I've been, I guess I should say, depressed my whole life, bro. Like, I've been overcoming depression and realizing how I could grow from it. I'm not scared of it. Like, I'm very honest with it. And that's a part of letting it thrive, like, just letting it be free. That's why I can, like I said, I express it one moment and it'll be gone because I'm not suppressing it. But if you keep suppressing it, all right, then I think about how much it's going to overtake you when it do fully rise. But if you, let's say, what do you call it? What do you call releasing energy? If you release the valve every time the pressure build up, like each time, instead of just, you know, letting it all build up over time, that's pretty much what I'm saying. You ain't got to worry about no problem. Trying to see what else I tweeted. Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, oh, okay, I see something else. And a lot of us, like I said before, too, we want to stay positive, we want to stay optimistic. That's not the key, because you have many other versions of yourself. And that goes into positive, negative, lower versions of ourselves. Like, we even calling it a lower version of ourselves, even considering it being negative and thinking of it as bad, is wrong. Honestly, we got But like I said, it is lower frequencies. I can't deny that, but you have to rise there. And the only reason it's been lower is because you've been suppressing it. If you've been living through it and you've been letting it thrive, it wouldn't be a lower version of yourself. B.O.B. said it too. He was like, elevate what you call evil. Like, if you feel like you got evil in yourself, change it. In a sense of elevate it, transmute it to something better than what you consider it now. But let's see. I think that's all I got. I'm already at 10 minutes. And yeah, let me see. I'm about to go through my little list of other videos. I talked about this before. Observe yourself is a good one. I talked about it. Do you talk to multiple versions of yourself? I think I got like 2 or 3 videos on it, but I get into it more in a sense. This is really just a wrap up and honestly just talk about inside out and you not suppressing yourself anymore. But I'm out of here, guys. Deuces.